Hey, what is up guys, and welcome for a new build for Outriders Worldslayer. Today I want to show you a really powerful build for Technomancer. This build will allow you to easily beat any in-game content in the game. It's absolutely ridiculous, whether it's mobbing or bossing. This build can do just about anything. This is not a passive build by any means. You don't just throw your turrets and let them do all the damage. You're going to be right into the action. This is like a quad turret build. You have your blighted turret as well as your 2 Kyro turrets. Then your minigun is like your 4th turret. You can easily melt bosses in seconds. Also, if you enjoy playing online or even with friends, this build is still super viable. Techno did get a lot of buffs to his minigun, and with the new Pax Trees and the Apocalypse items, his anomaly builds have never been stronger than they are today. I feel bad for this Devastator I played online. 4.2 billion damage compared to his 1.4 billion. This shows how powerful Technomancer really is. Whether it's expeditions or the new Tyre Guitar in-game mode, you can solo any of these content without any troubles at all. If you're unsure of the changes they made to the minigun, I made a video previously outlining all the new buffs they were giving to the minigun. I will leave a link to the video in the description if you're wanting to check it out. If you guys enjoyed the video, then a like would be really appreciated. If you would like to see more of my videos and builds for Outriders, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. With that, let's get right into the build. So let's have a look at the skills we use first. We use the blighted turret, the tools of destruction, and then the Kyro turret. For the tools of destruction, we will be using the minigun in particular. You can however use the launcher if you wanted to as well, but the minigun will have a higher DPS compared to the launcher. The blighted turret is mostly used to get added anomaly power, and the Kyro turret is used as an offensive and a defensive skill. The turret is very good at taking the enemy's attention off you. As well as with the new mods and the gear set, it will also be a great option as an offensive item. Alrighty, so let's have a look at the weapons and armor that we can use. Now I'm not at the max ascension level or at the max apocalypse tier, but this build would work regardless of what tier you're at. As long as you have the mods and items that somewhat match what I'm about to show you, you'll be all good to go. So firstly, let's have a look at the armor. The legendary armor set we used is the new Technomancer set. This set will increase the strength of your turrets drastically. Using your turret skills will increase the turret damage by 10%. The bonus will last 10 seconds and it can stack up to 5 times. So you can increase the damage of your turrets by 50%, and since your blighted turret has such a short cooldown, you can keep up the 50% bonus turret damage almost all the time. As I mentioned before, this isn't a passive build at all. Our turrets will be doing a great amount of damage against the mobs as well as bosses, but our main damage dealer will be our minigun, which I think is still stronger than your turrets, as it can dish out even more higher DPS than your turrets itself. Now ideally you would want the headpiece, the body and the pants for your 3 pieces of the Technomancer's armor, as they will come with anomaly power, cooldown reduction as well as status power. But I never got any good apocalypse pieces for the head, so I added in the Technomancer's boots instead. Let's go over all the mods that I used. So for the headpiece, I actually used the Ronin's Omegasa. This comes with good cooldown reduction as well as AP and status power. This headpiece has 2 good mods that give you anomaly power on critical hits. I actually took out the more powerful one on the piece that I'm using, which is the arms and anomaly, and left the second one on. That's only because I have arms and anomaly on my gloves as the 3rd mod. So I added in Captain Hunter on my headpiece for more damage on elites. Now Danger Clothes is actually a really good mod that came on my headpiece. It will boost your anomaly power by 6% for every enemy that's in close range. This can stack up to 4 times. So this is an easy way to get 24% anomaly power boost. For the body armor, we keep the hazardous modifications and swap out the second one for double trouble. Hazardous modification actually makes your blighted turret feel more like a rocket launcher. The sound when the turret fires is actually really satisfying to hear. Double trouble is really great as it will add another barrel to your Kyro turret, making it even stronger. Then I have Fortify as my 3rd mod. This is mostly my survivability mod. It will give me a tremendous amount of armor whenever I have my minigun active. For the pants, we keep on Improved Coolant and swap out our 2nd mod for Twins. Improved Coolant will increase our fire rate for the Kyro turret, and Twins is pretty easy. You can place 2 Kyro turrets instead of just 1. I was super lucky as for the 3rd mod slot I got Shatter, which will increase my damage to frozen enemies. Then I got a really good epic glove piece, which gave me feedback and the big arms and anomaly. Feedback is one of the new tier 1 mods. It will reduce your cooldown on your tools of destruction by 50%. This is actually super useful to have, as you don't want to walk around with your minigun in hand. You are as slow as a turtle when you're walking with the minigun. With this having such a short cooldown, you can have it back up and ready to use in no time even if you decide to drop the gun. If you look at the skill, it only has an 8-second cooldown. 8 seconds! That is freaking crazy. This is especially great in the new fights in Tyree Guitar, where you have to go to the different pillars around the arena with the boss in the center. You're not going to walk around with your minigun from one end to another. You can easily drop your gun and use it again super quickly. Finally, for the boots, we use the Technomancer boots and we remove the first mod for Toxic Lead. We keep the Hail Shot and we got a third mod slot which is Unstoppable Force. Toxic Lead does work on your minigun. You can use it to regen your ammo really easily. I will show how easily you can inflict Toxic when we look at our skill tree. This is really easy way to keep your minigun active almost all the time. The Hail Shot is great as it will increase your turret damage by almost 200%. My status power is sitting at around 197%, so our quiet turrets will be insanely powerful. Then the Unstoppable Force gives us an easy 20% bonus anomaly power all the time as our resistance piercing is sitting at 40%. That is it for all the armor pieces. This is still very much optimized to its best. Some other mods that you probably should look out for on your armor pieces is Massacre, as it will give you a good anomaly power boost per kill. Upgrading Gun is also good as you can get even more resistance piercing. And it will also increase your anomaly power since you're using Unstoppable Force. Anomaly Echo is also good since you'll be spamming your skills all the time. You don't really need Kyro Down, which reduces the cooldown on your Kyro turret. You can keep your turret damage bonus from your set just by spamming your blighted turret. It only has a 3-second cooldown anyway. Once I place my Kyro turrets, I just leave them alone and let them do their thing. Now let's have a look at the weapons. The Hellborn I use is just to dish out a good burst of damage. Violent Rupture, which creates a volcanic explosion, is pretty much amazing. It can proc even if you don't hit the enemies. If you're surrounded, you could just hit the ground and the explosion will proc. For the second mod, I added in Firestorm, just for coolness and damage. Whatever third mod you have, it will just be a bonus. But our main weapon is the Final Penance. The mod Mage's Rage is absolutely amazing. Critical shots will increase your anomaly power by 10% for 15 seconds, and it can stack up to 4 times. This is such an easy way to get an insane 40% bonus anomaly power. Before fighting a boss, I just hit them with a few crits, and then just spam my turrets and minigun. You can see just how powerful it really is. The bosses get absolutely destroyed. We can add an Omen as a second mod to debuff enemies even further by 10%. My third mod isn't great at all, but it doesn't matter as the first two are the only important ones. Now let's have a look at the skill tree. We do go down the Demolition tree, we get as much as the anomaly power bonus as we can. And we do that to get the capstone, which is Tick Bond. It will increase your anomaly power by 50% whenever you use our ordnance skill, which in our case will be the Tools of Destruction. We also get Armored Unit to increase our armor even further when we use our minigun. Since we are using the Fortify mod, which gives us a huge armor boost when we activate the minigun, the skill will increase the value even further. It will make you a literal tank. You could just stand there and shoot away and you will probably never die. We also get Adrenalizing Antenna. This will also boost our anomaly power whenever we use our Blighted turret. Then we go through our center tree to get one gadgeteer skill to reduce our turret cooldown. Then the last one being the Exposing Toxin, to inflict vulnerable status whenever you inflict toxic on enemies. That's it for the main skill tree, and now let's have a look at the Pax points. We go into the Desolator tree. The most important skill is the Lethal Devices. The skill will allow your turrets and your main minigun and a launcher to always inflict toxic and deal bonus anomaly power as well. Now all your skills will inflict toxic really easily. This is how we are able to regen ammo so fast for the minigun, as every bullet will inflict toxic, just like a blighted minigun. Then we get the Cap Depleted Core. This will increase our ordnance skills damage by 100% of your status power. Since our status power is already really high, sitting at around 200%, we get such a big boost in damage to the minigun and the launcher. Here's a quick look at my ascension points. That is it for the build, guys. There was quite a lot of stuff to go through, but this build is absolutely insane. There's nothing that this build can't do. You can solo any expedition as well as the Eye of the Storm. You can just see how fast it kills the final boss. Even if the Reavers spawn, you can just stand there and gun down the boss as you still cannot die. See how much they're attacking me and it still doesn't faze me at all. Even the final boss in Tyree Guitar, you could just stand there and it cannot kill you no matter what. The launcher is also great to use if you want a bit more mobility or want to see explosions. Remember the 8-second cooldown. You could use your Tools of Destruction however you like. Also, this build does great in teams and multiplayer. I played quite a few people online and had loads of fun with it. It was really funny as I was acting as the tank for the team thanks to my minigun, while they were all attacking from behind. The survivability on this build is totally insane. For multiplayer, you can still have your minigun active all the time with your toxic lead. Since you'll be always in close range, you can get the kill on enemies before anyone else can. Some of my games online, half of the time, the other players just left me alone and focused on enemies that were not in front of me. So if you have a good team, you will do absolutely great. Remember, if your ammo runs out, your minigun only has an 8-second cooldown. Also, one tip I wanted to share, your movement is really slow with the minigun. One way you could reposition a little bit faster is to hold down your skill button for your turrets to manually throw them in position. This is just a small trick to get around the map a little bit easier with your minigun active. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. I'm really enjoying the techno with this build. Having 3 turrets as well as being a huge turret myself, it will never get old. What do you guys think? Are you going to try out this new turret minigun combo? Let me know. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all next time.